Because, shoot, we raised a lot of money for St. Jude's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When just a few weeks ago, my wife, or Air Force, the security forces on base went around and arrested everybody, took them to jail,
Yeah.
and you had to pay to have them arrested.
Yep.
But it was well worth it. All the senior NCOs had the commander arrested, and for like 2 hours, she had to sit in jail. But they specified the times during the morning meetings, so they pretty much got the morning off, so they didn't have to do their meetings.
Yep.
Because the commander wasn't there to brief anyway, so.
Yeah.
Paid the cops off to skip meetings.
Well, that's pretty good.
Better go see if I've got anything else. I hope she printed off that PDF for Jeremy. I don't think she did. Janet said she'd look for she can get it printed off, but evidently.
What now?
Oh, that manual for Jeremy to read because we got that new reader. The old one was so damaged.
Yep.
And of course it was obsolete, so I ordered that new one that, just a little handheld, just like a little phone that you carry around. Tracy Ronan, unless she does live in Billings, okay.
So who's this stuff from Mr. Anderson?
What's that? Is that the...
Town of Farmburg by... Yeah, it's on that trailer house up there, see?
Yeah, and then it's for they approve that for the manufactured home, that it has to be on a permanent foundation.
Yep. Did we get... Hi Dave, how you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know.
I forgot to bring my water.
We need to,
That paperwork should be coming.
what's that?
That material that guy was putting underneath that trailer will be as a permanent foundation.
Yeah, yeah. And it may have come, I don't know, if she had time to print any of that stuff out today, so. How's David?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, except for my hips are I've been skipping my hardwood floors, so it's been kind of.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like fun.
No, it's not.
So we've got 3 applications?
Yeah, we've got, did she give you a copy of this one from Tracy Ronan?
I got Tracy, Roxanne, and
Right.
Jade.
Okay, and then there's another one from Catherine Boyer, and I'll bring that and make copies tomorrow and put it in your box.
Okay,
And that was Cat?
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Getting some action.
And then someone else called me today and said that they would be sending a resume also, so that's good.
Yeah.
Give us a little time to interview and get some
Yeah.
background and things like that.
Yep.
And I see Spencer's here.
Yep, that
Did
is.
you go check those alarms? I've been getting alarm calls. And I just texted him just a little bit ago and told him I've been getting a lot of alarm calls today.
And what lines are going on?
Oh, at the lagoons, I'm sure.
The flow meters or something?
I have no idea. Could be.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, what's happening?
Must have got good news today. He's dancing like a...
He's
No.
always in a good mood.
I'm always a good mood. Hell yeah. The bad days are over.
Good for you.
It only took 50 years.
So you come down here to the city council meeting?
Just to feel better?
He was feeling too good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get a hold of Janet.
Where's Roxanne Punch, or where's she from?
I'm not sure.
It looks from her resume like she's a Billings resident.
Well, there's a Roxanne that works over at the bank in Bridger too, and I can't remember her last name. She just remarried not too long ago, and that name sounds familiar.
That's what we asked at the last meeting, if that was,
I don't think it's
Travis's
Roxanne
mom.
Curry.
Travis's mom.
I don't know if it is or not.
This
I doubt it
Roxanne?
would
Yeah.
be.
No, she went to Helena High School.
Not working at the bank.
Oh,
Says she went to Helena High School in St. Mary's.
Oh, okay, okay,
Roxanne, I think, graduated from Schaumburg.
oh.
yeah, she did.
I didn't wear any glasses, I mean, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, Roxanne that I thought it was at first was married to Doug
Yeah.
Tucker.
Is that
And
why?
she's since remarried to a Keener, is it, Bill?
I don't know who she
Keener?
remarried to.
Yeah, it was just recently in this last year that she remarried, so. Spencer, did you get my text about those alarms going off? I'm getting alarm calls.
When?
I got one just a little while ago,
From the Fromberg sewer? I thought your phone number was taken out of that.
evidently
Gosh,
not.
yeah, call me whenever you get them, or at least touch bases with me. Yeah, we've been fighting a pump problem over there, and I don't have manuals for it, and now I reset them here just tonight. Now suddenly it came up, but Taylor Electric was here this afternoon, actually this morning, and he went ahead and reset the pumps. And he says it was a problem with the pump, not what's called the soft start, which is inside the breaker
Right.
panel. So I got a hold of various people to try to find manuals and get guidance, and they couldn't be here when I was here. They wanted me to do it between 8 and 5, and I didn't have a manual for anything. So I was trying to get in there, and they want me to look at the soft start inside the panel. Well, to get in the panel, I've got to shut everything off, so I open up the panel door and the soft starts are turned off. Well, I just talked to an electrician, and I know now how to open it up and leave the power on.
Okay,
So, but I just reset it and everything's running fine. So,
okay, good.
yeah, I do apologize for that. I'll get a hold of Bailey again, because I thought since the last ordeal a couple weeks ago that you
Well,
had
Mike,
quit getting calls.
You know, it's kind of hard to get rid of
To get
that
rid of stuff,
sometimes
so,
too.
yeah.
It rolls over and then you know, it's hard to
Yep,
uh,
so I
take
do
that off.
apologize.
I don't
but
mind, because you know, when I do get them, then I know something's going on.
Something's going on, yep,
And I
but
can-
still,
And I can get a hold of you and
Yeah.
and let you know what's going
Yeah.
on. Yeah, Bailey's over in Red Lodge, I think, this week.
Bailey's?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's why he just showed up then.
Yeah,
Okay, what's he doing over in Red Lodge?
they're doing some work over there on their lagoon.
Oh,
their
they
sewer
are?
plant, Yeah.
Oh, good, then
Yeah.
maybe Bailey will come by tomorrow.
See, this one was the first one in the state, now
The
we've got.
Sager, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now we've got Columbus, Red Lodge, and a couple other places.
Oh, all I heard was
Same
Big
system.
Timber and
Yeah.
Vaughn, I thought were the next two that were going
Right,
online.
Big Timber, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
This
I
is a
think
small one,
Columbus is
too.
looking at putting one in
Really?
up there, and
Cool.
Red Lodge is too, I think, so.
Oh, cool.
I'm not really sure, you know, where they're going with it, but,
Good.
they're really impressed with this system that we put in here.
You're right there, isn't it?
Good. And, being it's, we better call these meetings to order. The first one is,
Is Nathan
workshop
be able to
for,
come?
he should be here
Oh,
just a little
okay.
bit.
Excuse me.
Curb
Give me
box
that.
specialist. So, Spencer, I'm gonna give the floor to you.
I would love to wait until Nate's here, because it's such a small crew, small council, that I think it's important we have everybody here. So if I could,
He should be here.
okay, if I could just wait or go on to the next one that may not be as critical to have him here, that would be great. I would appreciate it.
Well, the next one is a budget, transfer for, legal ads, so he should be here for that too.
Yeah.
He said he might not make it.
He did.
Did he? Is that what he said, Bill? We might not make it?
Can someone reach out to him and just see?
But that was yesterday.
Yeah, I don't have my phone with me. When I come to these things, I leave my phone at home. It rings off. the
Do you know
hook.
his number off the top of your head? I can give him a call.
No
Anybody
one
know?
knows.
He'd be driving.
I think Tim's got it.
Yeah, see, I
He's on the road from Stillwater.
Ah,
He may not answer it.
With his job, you never know, something might come up, so
does he work at the mine? Does he?
he's a supervisor.
Hey, Nate, this is Tim, how you doing? Good, good. Were you gonna be able to make it tonight?
Well, we all walked.
No such luck. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Thanks.
Cool.
Said he drove by at 7:22, nobody was here, so he thought everybody canceled.
Oh.
He's hoping.
No, I would have definitely let him know. if
Yeah, I drove by at
think
7:15, it was dark too, and I thought, what's Tim got me in for here?
Yeah.
I'm glad we called.
Yep.
Was that the only two issues on the planning meeting, was me and that other one, or was there a third one that?
Well, there's another one was the employee policy. If that's just gonna be a short discussion, we'll have to vote on that at
Oh.
a regular council
Okay.
meeting. And the same with the budget transfer.
Okay.
The budget transfer shouldn't take more than 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, I don't expect it to take more than 15 unless we have a conversation, which is always good, but.
That's all right.
Yes.
I'm happy to get away from stripping my hardwood floors for at least a half hour. I gotta go buy another bottle of Aleve. Something.
Well, the sewer treatment plant is coming along great. There's still some punch list items that Missouri River Contractors is taking care of. The plumber, I think, got the hose hung in there here recently, which is the hose to rinse off the UV lights when
Mhm.
I need to. So I think that got done. There's still a backflow preventer that he installed that needs to be tested. They're supposed to be tested after installation. And we had 2 of the diffusers blow off again, or I should say different diffusers, and the 2 lagoons blow off, and Missouri River Contractors was here last week to get those fixed. He's running water from that northeast lagoon. He's got a line strung out as part of the contract. Then after this plant's up and running, the lagoon in the upper right-hand corner then is being pumped out into our new Lagoon 1, and I think he's running that empty, or at least running. We're now processing the water that's in lagoon, the northeast lagoon.
Yeah, because we're trying to dry those 2 cells
Right.
out so we can get all the sludge out in the spring, hopefully.
Yep. And so that's what's going on there at the sewer treatment plants. Let's see. The motors have hit their the blowers have hit their 500-hour limit, and they emphasized in the training that I had that, you should change the oil out in the new motors at 500 hours, so I did that. That has been changed out in the 3 blowers. We still have some sensors that are not wired in yet correctly in Missouri Rivers. Tiny. The Missouri River contractor has said they've shipped the parts to him twice wrong,
Right.
so he's waiting for that stuff to come in.
Because we have a change order.
Yeah. And we have an issue with a meter, the outflow meter. We have an issue with that. The sewer alarm's going off now, as a matter of fact. We have an issue with the outflow meter. It's showing empty pipe and it's not measuring the sewage, the volume of sewage that is leaving the treatment plant and going into the river. Chad Hansen doesn't know what's going on there. He's gonna be in touch with Bailey, but Bailey doesn't think it's his problem. It's the mag meter doing something weird, so we're trying to figure that out. So that's kind of what's going on there. And yesterday we had, actually over the weekend on Sunday, that's why I came down, We had a pump 2 air out, and again, as you learn something new, I'm in the whole learning curve, and the pump 2 aired out, showed a fault. Taylor Electric showed up today and it was drawing 29.7 amps, which is way too high. It should be about 10. And I showed up tonight and shut it off and back on, and it seems to be running fine. So, don't know what the problem is. So I'll be in touch with them again tomorrow and see if we can figure out what's
Yeah,
going on there.
There's a trip somewhere there.
Yeah. So, as far as the water side it goes,
And the
everything.
blowers, did you bring those down just a little bit?
Don't know how to turn them down. That's an interesting issue. I've asked Chad and he says, well, it's gotta be a VFD that you could just turn them down, and
Right.
there's not. It's a soft start is what it is, and the big panels in the sewer treatment plant.
Yeah.
Chad thought there were VFDs, and I talked to Taylor Electric and I confirmed and looked myself, and no, there is not.
Okay.
And the valves along the side of the lagoons, they are not valves to adjust the air. They are valves to turn it on or off. So the only thing that I can think of that I could do is that Lagoon 1 has 6 laterals running across it, and Lagoon 2 has 2 laterals. I thought I shut off my ringer, but that's an emergency, so that's why it's going off. I could shut down half of the laterals, so that might be a way to turn it down, is just shut off half of them. But Chad's looking into it, and he'll let me know. He's at some conferences this week, but he'll let me know what's going on there.
Okay.
So, yeah, so the reason that I think one of the reasons that we're having this meeting, Tim, you can please, and this is an open forum, I do believe, Tim asked me if I would kind of put something together here and come together. I've got some ideas for the town for what I've learned and what I think the town might want to entertain trying to do in the next couple of years. I've shared those ideas with some of the people on the council and the mayor, and Tim suggested that we do this in a more of a formal setting and present the proposals to all of you, so you kind of know what's going on, where we're at, and so you have an idea as to maybe what we should plan in the future at your next budgeting session, or maybe tweak the upcoming budget, or as Shirley has sometimes said, maybe move some money around to see what we could do. I have got kind of my notes kind of written up here. I'd like to just go over them with you, and I've also got a free notepad for you too if you didn't bring anything to write with. And I even have pens with Nate if you forgot a pen. Shirley, you get one too, right? Yes, excuse me. Sorry, Shirley.
Jerry seen me driving around, I drove by and didn't see anybody up there. I was like, oh, I guess it got canceled.
That's what I
was halfway through a burrito.
So I'm going to flow through this, but there's going to be some ideas that are going to bounce around a little bit. This also, for the listening audience too, this gets into a little bit of accountability in my job here. It's kind of a new position that's been created as a subcontractor rather than a true public works director that is on staff. So there's a few different guidelines that I'm having to abide by and adjust to. So our current agreement that I have, I would just want to discuss about accountability and how Shirley and Tim have asked me to report into Brenda. And I know there's some changes there. All of my receipts will be copied and included with my invoices. Shirley has asked me to please not purchase things, but I need to reach out to say that's really tough for me to operate that way. Because if I need a roll of toilet paper, if I need paper towels, if I need a trash can, if I need a clock on the wall in the pump house, you know, for me to ask one of you to go get it is your time, your money. I'm right at Walmart. I come from Billings at least once a week, if not more often. I can just get that stuff. So I'm not spending a lot, and this gets into some other items here. But just the next thing, the markup. Every business has a markup on items that it resells. This covers the cost of shopping, travel, picking up parts, and paying for immediately, and then invoicing the city to get paid, and waiting for a month later to get paid for that stuff. Those of you that have been in business for yourself know that there's always a markup. So I would like to ask something reasonable. I want to be open book with you guys, but I'd like to ask for something that you think is reasonable for me to mark that up. I'm suggesting 20 to 30%. Okay? Again, we're not making decisions here. This is just ideas and things that I wanted to discuss. And anyone can please, though, pipe up if they want to talk here. Shirley's talked to me about budget and says that money's tight. I think it would be nice if I could have a small budget. I think 500 is a little bit high, but I heard from Tim suggested maybe having that figure. I don't envision spending that kind of money. $500 a month on small stuff, I don't envision spending that kind of money. But I understand from talking to some of you that sometimes when you have in this position that any single item purchased more than 500 bucks that, you know, I need to get your approval, at least one of your approval, or maybe After one of you knows about it, then it needs to go in front of the council. Spencer, can you wait for that $1,000 approval? Is it an emergency pump we need, or can it wait until the next council meeting? And I understand that, so I wanna work with you guys on that.
I think Tim might have been talking about $500 a year.
Were you?
No, actually,
I understand, that's,
That would have been me.
that was probably Shirley, yes. No, actually, my thought on it was, I know how, when you're doing maintenance and stuff like that, it does cost money. And when I did maintenance, I always had a budget. I had a limit that I was allowed to spend per invoice. And it was usually $500.
okay,
Now, if I went over the $500, then I was supposed to get approval. So if I went down and bought bearings or whatever, and they came to 500 and whatever, then I was supposed to get approval on it. And that's kind of my thought. Because if he's gonna be out here and, what did the,
chlorine pump we
chlorine
received.
pump,
Yes.
how much was that? That was $600 to $800,
Yeah,
and
I
that
think it was 730, I
700
think, yeah.
and something, yeah.
Right.
So
To rebuild
we
that.
needed approval from
Excuse
us
me.
to go ahead and do that.
The new pump was 700, we had that rebuilt for 230, I think, so it did fall under 500, but still, I asked for council for your approval, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's good if we, guys, chip in if you think that this is wrong, but
No, I think it's right to have a limit. I think we'd spend more time you trying to get a hold of one of us to make an approval
Yes.
on a small purchase than
Yeah,
the cost of the purchase.
Yeah, and you know, with the new sewer treatment plant, I mean, I'm a new building as such, and being new in the position, I'm having to, you know, buy towels, buy Santa wipes, buy, you know, so I'm just, and one other thing that will be a small purchase, I think, coming up, I'm finding out that I'm gonna have lots of little parts and light bulbs and stuff for when indicator lights burn out. Taylor Electric is gonna get me replacement bulbs, so there is no storage in there at all. So I would like to, you know, go do some garage sailing or find some inexpensive shelves, or if you guys wanna come down and take a look at what I'm looking at, maybe you've got something sitting in your garage that I can use. I don't care how it looks, okay? This isn't a glamour sewer treatment plant, but, you know, so, but I'm gonna need some kind of shelving in there for storage, so.
Does it have to be lockable or
No, the building is lockable. This,
Okay.
this is small stuff.
so
Small
just
parts.
open shelving?
Open shelving, yeah. And something can be built too. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to pick a corner, there might be one or two corners in the
I would
UV
think
room
if
that we could build some shelves.
got some 2x4s for Jeremy, he could probably whip something up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually, I think I've got some extra shelving.
So,
I think Tim does, yeah, in his garage.
Yeah.
Along with,
so, also the last time in that first section, the energy lab bills, all my other, I run about 8 other water systems smaller than Fromberg, and everything that deals with what I have, what I'm in charge of, goes through me. I'm stocking specifically the energy labs bills. We have some water and some sewer samples that come in, and Energy Labs has some bumps in their system that if the bills go here, the results want to go over here. Well, the results don't always go over here. They tend to go where the bills go. And it's going to be a better smoother process for me if I see the bills, if I see the results. I'm not going to mark up the bills, okay? I will bite the bullet on that. I pay for those immediately with a credit card, okay? That's my accountability. That's a double check for my system and my way I do paperwork, and keeps the bills current. I will invoice the town for these almost immediately within a day or so. But I think I've talked to Shirley or maybe Tim, I don't remember who. Just because you might get, the city may get 3 to 5 bills from me in a 2-week period maybe, I'm not expecting to get paid for those, you know, within a week or 10 days. I would like to see 1 check a month from the city, okay, for whatever is approved and works out for you guys, okay?
okay, now
how we
Spencer, will
operate.
you give us a copy of the invoices for the
Oh,
energy
certainly,
labs? Yeah,
you bet,
okay.
you bet I can,
As long
yes.
as we've got those in our file, that's it. We just need a paper trail for audits and things
Yep.
like that. That's where we're going with this.
Okay, let me write that down, copy of Energy Lab bills.
And you mail or you email?
I can do both. Some water systems like both because they do like a paper copy.
Redundancy?
Yeah, it is a little redundant. I have had some Some water systems pay me twice for stuff, and I catch them on that and tell them about that, you know, but that sometimes does happen.
Well, we can make copies for our files with emails.
Yes,
I mean, there's
okay.
no problem there.
Okay, all right. So, let's jump to the next section on meter reading. I had an agreement with you guys, and Shirley, I believe, has canceled that agreement. I was set up, let me back up a little bit. As you know, we've gone to estimated meter readings, and we had an issue with getting, and how are we gonna do this? And a visit in the Public Works building found that maybe one time at vandalism, I'm not exactly certain what, there was a meter reader in there that is broken. And we met with a gentleman from Corin, Maine, who is our meter rep, and he said that that piece of equipment is antiquated and it cannot be repaired. But in learning there what you guys do, come to find out I have the handheld version of that meter reader in my inventory. It's a $700 item, I think.
I have one now.
Okay, great. Okay, so that issue's been taken care of. Okay, so so that's taken care of. I don't need to dwell on that then. So on the meter reading, we have 250 meters, 130 are radio read, and about 90 are manual read, and they walk around. I have, in talking about this, I have learned that in the past, I don't know how long ago, you guys had a program where meters were being replaced on a program, and it was the homeowner's responsibility to pay for those meters. And I think some of you in the room have already paid for your meters, and some of you might have the manual read. And I don't know what happened as to why that system failed. There are, I believe, some key city employees that still have manual reads. That I don't know why they weren't the first to get the auto read meters put in their houses. But there's still, you look at the manual read list, and there are some well-known old city employees that still never got on the auto read system. But I believe the cost of the meters is about $187, and I think Tim and his wife told me that they remembered that, you know, they just got, their water bill got a charge of $187, and it was their responsibility to pay that.
For the meter, yeah.
For the meter,
radio read,
right,
yes.
for the meter. And
Yeah,
you had
and
somebody
that's what
on
they
salary that would go into their house and would change that meter, of course with the homeowner's approval and being there. You know, would go into the house to change that meter. I think that's and it was a wash. So the meter costs $187. The city was not marking it up or paying for the person's time to go spend working on the meter.
Who's
And
gonna pay
install
for the meter if we don't have any money?
230 now. I'm sorry. What?
Who's paying for the meter if we don't have any money?
The homeowner is.
Yeah, the homeowner says don't have the money, who's gonna pay for it?
Well, I don't know.
The meter works just fine the way it is, why would I change it?
Well, the reason
The
for
reason for it is my meter works,
okay.
and I don't have $230 to buy a new one.
Okay. The city is paying for me or for someone else to walk around. In the past, they were paying for 2 guys to ride around in a car for 3 days to read those meters. And it's the way that technology is moving. And I mean, I'm not here to debate. I appreciate your comment. I'm not here to debate or argue it. It's just the way that things are moving. You know, and I mean, if I were a city employee and I was walking into your house and walking into your yard and slipping on the ice to read your meter, who's liable? Is it you because you didn't shovel your walk? Is it the city because I'm a city employee? There is a huge liability to have a contracted person or a city employee walking around, coming into your yard to read your water meter every single month. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, dogs, cats, getting shot by a person that thinks you're breaking in. You know, there's a huge liability there.
How did we ever do it before?
That I can't tell you.
I don't think anybody broke their leg. I don't think anybody got shot
We haven't had a problem.
in,
Well,
in,
and I don't
in
know
30
how-
years.
And I don't know with his question, I don't know how it was done with people that couldn't afford meters either. I can't
We
answer
didn't
the other
have to pay
part.
for it, that's all.
You did have to pay for it,
No,
sir.
we didn't,
Yes, you did.
sorry,
Tim?
Yeah, I had to pay for it.
I didn't,
You got a radio read?
no.
No, he's got a manual read.
Well, when you get a radio read, then you'll be billed, and I think as a council, we need to figure out how they're gonna pay for it. If it's 3 months on installments, or 4 months, or 6 months, then that gives the person time to do that.
Well, if we put radio read meters on the town, I mean, just for the town to bear that cost. For all of the manual reads that we have right now, which is 112 or 115.
Correct, yep.
It would cost us about $24,000. Just for meters. That's not to install them,
Right.
that's just the cost of the meter.
Correct.
And then the installation, the town would be paying the public works guy to do that. So
Correct.
that's where we're at with that. It's a budget thing more than anything, Jerry.
As he was saying earlier, it took 2 city guys to read the meters. It didn't take 2 city guys to read the meters. One guy was sitting there driving for no reason.
Hey, I agree with you that their methods may have been not necessary, but I'm just telling you what I've been told, is that there were 2 city guys that were reading the meters.
We paid those guys their salaries to do that,
Yes.
where they could have been doing something else, maybe a little more productive.
Well, one guy could have read meters.
Oh, yes.
You didn't.
Yes, and that
Well,
was
because
discussed.
the handheld, when we had a wand, I call them a touch reader. And they would, one of the guys would get out of the truck, they'd go to the house, they'd touch the wand, it would download in a little, kind of a TV thing, you know. And then they would get back in the truck. I watched them do this several times. Get back in the truck, he would hand the other guy the reading, and the other guy would put
Thank
it
you,
in
I've got the
manually
messages,
in the
thank you.
computer, in their laptop. They'd
Okay,
go
bye-bye.
around the corner, go to the next house, do the same thing. Go down the street, do the same thing. You could load 50 readings in that one,
Batch.
yeah, in one batch. It would hold 50 readings, so you could download all 50 at the same time instead of one at a time. The new one now
That's
is not a touch read, it's just a little, it's like an iPhone, and you just go up and you touch it, and it reads it automatically, and it reads what, 50 also?
10.
10?
10.
So you could load 10 at a time with the
Yeah.
new one. And it shouldn't take very long to read all the meters, because like I said, close to 100 of them are all radio reads, and all you have to do is drive down the street, hit a button on the computer,
Right, but the other
And
100 you
boom,
do have to manual
it's
read.
already downloaded. The rest of them, you have to load them.
And there's
on the
no
computer.
notes on the database as to where the readers are at. So
Right.
I walked up to 10 houses when I read them last month, held the unit up against the house, pushed the button, read error. It says on my
Radio
screen.
read, because it's not a manual, it was a radio read.
Right. Right, but the list that I'm working on is manual reads, and I'm not going by the list because the list isn't in any kind of a walking order. I'm walking up to house by house to try to find it. So when I'm installing meters in other places, when I switch it from a manual read to a radio read, I take that thing off of your house so I can't manually walk up to your house to read it. So that there isn't any confusion like that for your new meter reader.
Mhm.
And they're gonna be going through the same thing, you
Yeah.
know, when Jeremy
And
and Nate
Jeremy's
do
gonna
that.
have to read the meters, and he's going to have to do the same thing.
Right.
Um,
Right. And it gets confusing. And I mean,
Mhm.
my first time I did it in August, I read 50 of them in about total of 10 hours over 3 days that I came to town to do that. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
'cause-
difficult
well,
to do.
there's no, we don't have any maps or any locations
Nope.
on a map